Greetings all. Since January 2nd all the way as latest as January 12th, the world has been reporting very strange harmonic buzzing sounds, and these can be found on DutchSins.com if you want to see all around the world, from Alberta, Canada to Chicago to, I believe, part of Australia to Kiev in the Ukraine. And it's terrifying sounds. Many people speculate that these are natural sounds, that the earth is changing. Our governments, I'm certain, will tell us lies as to what they are. I've heard, much like they explain away UFO sightings prior to tidal waves and UFO sightings prior to major horrifying earthquakes, even though they're right on tape and on digital recording devices, and they can't be refuted. I've heard government scientists explain away that these UFOs are nothing but friction-induced charging of the atmosphere due to ionization and of the plates as they rub past each other. Because that's funny, because I didn't know that tectonic plates were in the air. These people will play you for morons. These are artificially produced sounds, in my opinion. These are directed energy scalar weapon testing, possibly. God knows what these evil people are doing. We know that these HAARP stations, atmospheric heaters, etc., according to A.C. Griffith, who I fully don't trust. A.C. Griffith came through and says he's a former NSA agent who has all this information about HAARP, and enough is enough. Well, his physics and explaining how everything works is fascinating, and it's probably correct. But, my friends, I don't trust anyone who is former NSA, because you're never former NSA. These people are, in my opinion, worse than the KGB. The KGB, you know that they behave atrociously. You know that they're murderers. Now the present-day FSB in Russia. The NSA, A, says they don't exist. B, when they're caught in a bind and admits that the program exists, they will stand with those pearly brights in front of the eagle and in front of the flag and say, we're doing this to protect you. When in fact they're murderers. They do professional hits. They're worse than the KGB because they can't even own up as to what they are. They're murderers. They kill civilians. Anybody who gets in their way. The National Reconnaissance Office is the same way. They're not here to protect you. They're here to enslave you. Back to the sounds. These are pulsating sounds, and you can hear the energy in the atmosphere. You can hear it buzzing electrically. We know that, according to A.C. Griffith, the chemtrails prep the air. Basically, you spray and then you zap. Scalar weaponry can be used to everything to produce an artificial gravity-like wave that'll destroy structures without radiation, but be as dangerous and powerful as a nuclear blast. And they're untraceable. That's the scary thing. All of these sounds are untraceable. All of this weaponry is untraceable. From what we heard from A.C. Griffith, these weapons make nuclear missile, ballistic missile technology obsolete. A.C. Griffith says that the Challenger was destroyed by one of such weapons. I don't necessarily know. I don't know. I know that Alaskan Airlines is reporting interference with many of their flights out to the west coast because of such scalar weapons. You hear the energy in the atmosphere, and you know this can't be good for people. This much energy pumped into the atmosphere anywhere, it has to have a detrimental effect on people. All right? Please note that these sounds are terrifying, and they are heard for short bursts, but they're loud enough in some places to rattle your fillings out of your teeth. And they're enough, if the energy is able to last much longer, to just drive a person mad. My friends, I just wanted to make this little vid tonight to tell you that in the course of this year, The Illuminati is going to pull out every single God-appearing bell and whistle to frighten you to your knees. Do not be afraid. They can take our lives, but they can't do anything to our souls. Remember, my friends, that when you fear, your conscious connection to whatever entity you would like to call it, some people call it God, some people call it universal consciousness, some people call it oneness. Remember that you cannot pray when you're in fear. You cannot meditate when you're in fear. You cannot connect to that higher being that you may worship as God in fear. My friends, it is very important over the next year to avoid fear at all costs, because it fuels what they are planning in ways that many people do not fully understand. I fully do not understand it. George Green, in his many books, you can read about it. I posted why the Illuminati want to destroy things in a previous movie. Know that fear, depression, hate, anger, aggression, violence, know that nothing good will come from it, and it fuels this Illuminati fire. They're going to try to frighten you. You already are slaves, and they need you to be fleeced one last time. Do not fear. There may be a time when you cannot get away from whatever they are doing to you. Go into your mind's eye and picture a peaceful, blissful, wonderful future in your life. It stops the energy that they need. They cannot come after you for doing this. This puts a total crimp in their plans. You must learn not to fear. They're not going to drive me to my knees. They can pull out all the tricks, and believe me, they will. From holographic effects to particle beam weapons to horrifying destruction, they're going to try it this year. Do not fear and do not fall for it. What you're witnessing is not God. It is not the apocalypse. It is some very small, mad group's way of using your life force to power their agenda. I don't have time to get into it now. If you want to read the books of George Green, you can do so. Don't give in to fear. And it's not God.